Here's another look at this gorgeous antique early pewter plate, 9-inch diameter. So what does early mean, right? Well, pewter is a rabbit hole, and it can be overwhelming. And I'm trying my best to deal with pewter because I love it. Look at this. I found this in a barn out rummaging around today in the sun. This is my prize. This, so far, I've dealt with antique pewter in the past in my store. I buy and sell it. I collect some of it. Pewter is tricky because, you know, the touch mark in the back is what you see there. Dictates everything, including the value. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of nuances and so forth. And Britain had a tradition of various, you know, marking systems with assayers and quality control. The U.S. counterpart, pewter makers, didn't have the assayer marks, which is quality control. They have an eagle. Those are very collectible. And from what I've read, it seems as if the touch mark gets simpler as time progressed. So the later the piece, you may just see just 3 or 4 initials in a row. Whereas earlier pieces in the U.S. pewter, you'll see, you know, more ornate eagle or other designs. This one I needed to do more research on. I'm seeing, don't want to make a seasick. I'm seeing right there on the left a C, on the bottom a V, and there's something on the right, an R. I can't tell. If you know, help me out. Pewter is beautiful. It's mostly, it's a zinc, or pardon me, it's a tin alloy. It's very durable, but soft, pliable. It's tin and copper and bismuth and a few other things, sometimes silver. Gorgeous. It's just, I have to capture these things in the sun for posterity because they look so good. And in the winter in Ohio, you just don't do this. You don't just sit around outside with pewter. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be cold. These scratches, oh my gosh. Imagine the meals and the conversations of history and time about the current events of the era that took place over this plate. I love it. How many fights over Christmas? Oh man, classic. Amazing. Now this is thick. When I picked this up in the barn, I knew it was old. Newer pewter, more contemporary, is thin. This feels heavy, feels substantial. You can hear it. I mean, it's not tinny. It's got a heft to it. That's what caught my eye. And then just the wear. I mean, can you copy that? China and India can copy the wear, but it's hard to get the randomness. When you see wear from China and India to you know, mimic antique or give it things antiqued look, the wear is going in one direction usually, from a conveyor, like a sand belt, a conveyor, you know, like a sander. So it'll sand in one direction, and then there'll be paint, scuff marks, fake paint, you know, paint to make fake scuff marks. But you can just see the complete randomness. No artisan's gonna sit there and make random marks for, you know, what they'd sell this for, like 15 bucks at TJ Maxx. You're not gonna find an artisan in India or China to sit there and make, you know, 20,000 random scuff marks for just to make an antique looking object. I'm gonna do a couple feature videos about Indian and Chinese contemporary items that are made to look antique and how to train our eyes and help us not get fooled if we're looking for genuine antiques. If you're looking for something that's contemporary, like a TJ Maxx piece, that's fine. But if you're looking for something that's antique, sometimes we can get fooled by our friends from India and China. So I want to help you not get fooled. So the randomness of these scuff marks tell me this is really old too, right? So what I need to do next is hit the books and research this. I'm gonna mess with my lens, my filters on my phone. Again, I'm seeing a C. How close can I get for a blur? A C, then the bottom a V, then maybe a K or an R to the right, and then the top I can't tell. If you know, let me know. This is gorgeous. So basically with with pewter, it originated, just as far as overview of the history of it, it originated as far as usage in ancient Egypt around 1500 BC. And then, you know, time goes on, you fast forward to Rome, the Romans had it, and then they brought it to Britain, and Britain had the right ingredients in the ground. They had, you know, tin and all that, and lead, all that jazz to make pewter. And then they made it in Britain, and then they brought that over to the New World, to the United States, in Canada, I'm sure. And then the local artisans took over and started making their own wares. I want to try to find early American made wares. This is just gorgeous in the sun, how it catches that light. Oh man, that is something else. Wow, check that out. And as far as dating these, there's guides online. The edge and the reading can help you dictate the age. I'm guessing this one, so far from my research, is from around 1700 through 1750, give or take, so early 18th century. It could be earlier, it could be later, but that's my ballpark, 1700 through 1750. Gorgeous. I'll keep you up to date on this as I research that touch mark. So this is fabulous 18th century pewter plate. Thanks for checking in.